We're still in pre-roll, and this is the real webinar now. We are starting. Hello, friends from Russia. Spatsiba for watching this recording. My name is Kyle Gray, and I'm really excited to be here. So today we're going to talk about how to use storytelling to stand out and supercharge your business. This is some really, really cool stuff, and we've got a lot to learn, so let's dive right into it. I'm going to start this lesson pretty quickly, but first let me tell you a little bit about me. So I help health coaches and entrepreneurs just like you. I particularly work with health coaches, but I work with a ton of other different entrepreneurs and coaches and startups and service providers. Use storytelling to better communicate their unique value and create a connection and trust with their audience. I've helped a startup called WP Curve grow to 7 figures and ultimately get sold off to GoDaddy just using content marketing and storytelling. I published 3 Amazon best-selling books in entrepreneurship and storytelling. Now I want to tell you a little bit about how I got into storytelling, but we're gonna dive into this learning right away. So as you're watching this next story, this story is calibrated for health coaches and entrepreneurs. It personally resonates with me, but I want you to both watch this story as somebody who put yourself in the shoes of just kind of analyzing what's going on here, why is he saying these things, and how is this reaching a health entrepreneur audience. But you're also going to learn about me, because once you really understand your audience and who you're talking to, that's when you start to create stories that are magic. So without any further ado, let's dig in to my story. So it's graduation day, a day that should be one of the happiest of my life. I have just finished my master's degree, and I am a proud day, made even prouder by the fact that I have graduated debt-free, hard to do in the US these days, and paid for it myself. They call my name, and I walk across the stage, my big gown masking a subtle limp. And I make my best effort to smile, but it comes out a little bit crooked. And I'm here to celebrate the achievements of my mind, but I can't help but feel betrayed by my body. My jaw feels like it's about to fall off my face, and I have to be careful with what I chew not to spark nasty headaches. And I fear going to sleep at night and grinding my teeth. I also fear starting each day wondering if I'm going to have another freak out, spontaneous anxiety attack. I can't hike more than a quarter mile without some serious knee pain going on. And as somebody who loves the outdoors, I love skiing and hiking and rock climbing and all of these things. This just feels like a prison sentence to me. Somehow, this doesn't seem like the just getting older or overworked student kind of stuff. So I started searching for a solution. I visited various doctors, dentists, chiropractors, and other health professionals to help. I didn't know who could help me or where to turn. And I sank thousands and thousands of dollars in the different treatments. But for every problem I seemed to solve, 2 or 3 more would crop up in its place. And through various tests, I discovered I had a problem with my thyroid, which may be the source of a lot of what I was going through. So over the next few years, I took supplements and vitamins to help manage things. And I was feeling a little bit better, but I knew that I wasn't getting anywhere. I was just kind of treating things from the symptoms. And was I just going to have to mask these symptoms with a bowl full of pills every day? It's not what I wanted. It's not what I was interested in. I still had not gotten clear on what exactly was happening to me, but in my research I found that over 80% of people that had thyroid issues like mine had a disease called Hashimoto's. And sure enough, I had it too. My first reaction was a bit of despair. Oh, I've got an autoimmune disease. I'm stuck with this forever. I was regretfully unaware of people like you in this room who are people like you and people like the health coaches that I speak to that could help me, or even that I had the possibility that I could heal. But I was tired of living this way, and I didn't have to forever. So I decided to change my story. This diagnosis was not going to be a condemnation, but a door opening. And now with some clarity on the problem I had, I could take steps to solve it. What I didn't know at the time was that Hashimoto's would be one of the best things ever to happen to me. A unique twist of fate had me sitting across the lunch table from somebody who would change my life forever. She said, "Hi, my name is Dr. Grace Liu, and I help people overcome chronic autoimmune conditions," which is what I had, through the gut. My eyes widened as parts of my storytelling brain that I had been working on and developing over the years started to connect with everything that I was learning about health and wellness and being able to heal myself. And I responded, "Wow, so your patients must feel like this. They experience that. They feel they have this, but it's really that." Basically describing the last few years of my life. And she responded, "You need to come work for me." You see, Grace was frustrated. She was brilliant at what she did, but her business was struggling reaching enough customers. And that's very true for health entrepreneurs, but that's true for a lot of different people trying to make an impact out there. You're brilliant, you're very smart at what you're doing, but it's very difficult to actually reach the customers that you want to have an impact with. You see, I believe the biggest gap in many forms of entrepreneurship, not just health, is not in technology or science. We don't need any more fancy internet apps or things like that to reach our customers. We're doing really good as far as technology goes. But we need help in our communication and storytelling, and it's more important than ever because there is so much information pouring over people that we need to we need to do more than just share the best information. We need to do more than just say that we have the most credentials or experience. We need to create a human connection that the listener out there knows that they can trust us and understand us. So within a few weeks, I was helping Dr. Grace with copywriting and storytelling, and she was walking me through her Hashimoto's protocol. And it didn't take long for each of us to add a lot of value to each other. When she launched a new product or had a webinar to host, I'd help her get clear on the real value in what she was offering and cut out the medical speak, which boosted her sales. In turn, she would guide me through my own healing process. Within a month, the anxiety that had once plagued me on a daily basis had cleared. And by 3 months in, I had never felt stronger, more clearer minded, or more confident in my life. And with this new clarity, I realized that the work and storytelling that I was doing to help consultants, startups, coaches could make a big impact in the health space as well. And so what's really cool about working with health entrepreneurs for me is that I get to help empower them to heal people with conditions just like my own. So I get to help thousands more people heal who have experienced the same things. And there's so many people out there, whether you're in the health space or whether you are just an entrepreneur with a great idea, that are suffering because they don't know you exist. So we need to figure out how to fix that. But here's the problem. Because coaching, selling premium programs and products, making a great successful startup, all of these things are freaking hard. You know, it takes differentiating yourself can be incredibly difficult online, and you often lose out to competitors with less skill and maybe a little bit more marketing experience than you. A lot of times people end up overstretching themselves, trying to add more value, but not charging what they need. People just don't seem to get it on the sales calls and presentations that you're giving. And so you end up discounting yourself, you're taking shortcuts, or you just miss opportunities altogether. No fun, but today that's going to change because I want to teach you the solution today. So first, we're going to learn about the simple system you need to make your story your most powerful marketing tool. Next, we're going to learn about how and what stories to tell and when to tell them to get results. And finally, we're going to learn how to use this system to create or delegate the rest of your marketing. So let's talk about number one. You need a system that's to make your story your most powerful marketing tool. So you need a secret recipe, just like grandma. So let's do a little bit of imagination time. I want you to go back to your childhood and think about one of your favorite dishes that maybe it was your grandmother or maybe some other matronly figure in your life used to cook for you. The answer could be lasagna. You guys are in Russia. I don't know what the favorite dish is. Maybe it's borscht. Who knows? Anyway, you know what your favorite dish is, so think about it. You know the smell. But this dish ruined it for you because you can't just go to a restaurant and order lasagna anymore because it tastes hollow compared to grandma's. But what was grandma really doing? Did she really have a secret ingredient that just made it so much better than anything else that you've ever done? I would say no. It was the unique emotional connection between you and your grandmother, the memories that all came together around these moments that made the lasagna what it was. And I call this the grandma's lasagna effect, the emotional connection that just makes it so that all other lasagnas taste hollow compared to grandmother's. And we can create this in our own business. Let me show you how. With a proprietary process. This is your simple secret recipe for how you get results for your ideal client. This is going to create the grandma's lasagna effect in your business. So why would you want a proprietary process like this? First, it empowers you. This is my friend Jenny. Jenny came to me and worked in my group coaching program, the Storytelling Mastery Series. And the beauty of having a proprietary process is it enables you to talk about your business in a way that's clear and thought-provoking. It not only impacts how people receive your message, but how you deliver your message. So Jenny worked with me in the Storytelling Mastery Series after I met her at a speaking event in 2018. She was brilliant in her methods and how she helped her clients, but had a hard time communicating the real value in what she did and who she was, which made it hard to attract and enroll new clients. Once she had her process dialed in, things started to click in her business. Over the last year, she got enough clients to leave her nursing job and go full-time on her business. She's now speaking from stages and on radio shows in her area of expertise, gut health and fermentation. So you're not only going to feel empowered, it's not only going to change how you show up, but you're going to get more clients. People are going to be wanting to work with you because they finally understand what the value and the magic is behind what you're doing. And better yet, you're going to be able to charge what you're worth. You're going to be able to actually charge a wage that gets great results for them and creates abundance for you in your own life, and you absolutely deserve it. It's going to make sales and presenting so much easier, which is such a big problem for many entrepreneurs who are very impact driven. You want to make a big, impact, but you don't want to. You want to make a big impact, but you don't want to feel sleazy in your sales. So what makes for a good process? So step number one is you want to create a name for your process that speaks to the key result. Well, a lot of people's problems when they're creating the names for their anything is they talk about what you have to do, the things that you need to do to get the result. Instead, I want you to tell me about the result that I'm going to get. And I'll give you an example of that. So next, you want to write out 3 to 5 steps that get them to that result. And these also should have results-oriented names. Now let's go through another example. So this is Alyssa Arnheim. She's also worked with me in my Storytelling Mastery series. And we were working with her on her proprietary process. Now, she came to me, she had a process. She helps mothers with children with gut health issues heal their child's gut, which in turn totally changes their child's behavior. See, gut health issues in a child can make them, can have a lot of mood swings, can make them have difficulty learning, behavioral problems, a lot of different challenges like that. And so it can be difficult to work with them, let alone fix your own gut health. So she had this process for healing the child's gut health called Healthy Gut, Happy Child. Now, the name of that was a great name. And when we started getting to her steps. Step one was eat more vegetables. Now, eat more vegetables, that makes sense. If you went to a mother with a child with gut health problems and you said, hey, have you tried feeding your child more vegetables? They would say something like, wow, that is a great idea. Really smart stuff. I would love to feed my child more vegetables. But anytime I try to feed my child more vegetables, there is an explosion so big that when my family comes into town for the holidays, they try everything they can to keep vegetables off my child's plate so that they can make it through the holiday without any drama. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to get more vegetables onto my child's plate without this happening. And so I said, Alyssa, this is a problem. How do we figure this out? What are you doing to actually get these children eating vegetables? And she starts to explain to me this amazing ninja reverse psychology move that she does to not only get children to eat vegetables, but to actually like vegetables. And not just vegetables, but fermented vegetables like sauerkraut or something like that. Things that I don't even like eating quite yet. And so we changed the name from Eat More Vegetables to Create an Adventurous Eater, which causes this picture to go into our heads of, wow, this is somebody that we really can work with, we can understand, and that's a result I want to get. So there we go. So next up, we want to talk about how to connect those steps with key stories. And we're going to go into this more in depth in the next section. But you want to have key stories that not only illustrate your teaching points, but illustrate the results that you're getting. And finally, I want you to teach to sell. Now, teaching to sell, there's a careful balance between selling and teaching in storytelling, presenting on your sales calls that you need to maintain to successfully convert your audience into customers. You can't oversell. Nobody's going to stay tuned to a webinar presentation like this or listen to you just pitching your programs, buy this now, buy this now, buy this now. Nobody wants to hear that. But most people, especially people who are really impact driven, want to do good things for the world, they err on the other side of the spectrum. They teach, and they never try and sell. But if you teach too much, you may leave your audience feeling overwhelmed or with a feeling that they can now go and do what you taught them on their own. But this is a disservice to them, because they're likely won't take action or it won't be as effective as it would be to work with you. So the balance is teaching to sell. Instead of teaching people how exactly they need to do something, show them what to do and why it's important. Instead of teaching them the difference between something technical and small in what you're doing, how to set up the analytics, how to recover what kind of bacteria does what, show us what the results we're going to get and show us a better world that we're going to get once joining you with this process. So let's look at a couple of examples of proprietary processes. This is the Unstoppable Stage campaign. This is a very simple process that one of my mentors, Pete Vargas, uses to get on more stages consistently. Here is my proprietary process. I love it. It's super duper simple, super impactful. It's the one clear path to sales. So it starts with one clear message. We get clear on the one message that is going to resonate with your audience where they are in their lives right now. Then we package that into one clear lesson that empowers and inspires that audience to go and take action. And then finally, we present them with one clear offer that allows them to, that is the ideal next step for them to move forward. This is really powerful stuff, very simple, and it creates that imagination of those results that we want to get for people. That's what we're looking for. So here's another example process of somebody who came through the Storytelling Mastery series. This is the Empowered Brain. Ginny Miller, who was a functional diagnostic nutritionist, saw me speak on a webinar just like this. And she had a common problem that many health coaches face. She was trying to sell prevention. She was working with people with who were at risk for Alzheimer's disease. But as some of you may know, some of you may not know, it's very difficult to sell prevention. It's much better to sell a result that you can get and see and experience right now instead of something that maybe will never happen. So we came up with the Empowered Brain, a 90-day program for women to get their mental edge, clarity, and energy back so that they can feel present and confident with their family, career, and future. It's the same protocol. She didn't change anything that she does to work with her patients or clients, but we changed how she communicates it. And again, I have a lot of health examples in here because that's where I've been spending a lot of my time, but I hope that you can see how this could fit in any kind of coaching program, any kind of service, any kind of entrepreneurial endeavor that you may be on. So take a minute with me and just imagine having a clear and simple way to communicate what you do in a way that gets people wanting to take action with you. Next up, let's talk about how to always have the perfect story to tell. So this is where the key stories come in. So one of the biggest issues that I get with people is they're saying, well, I don't know what stories to tell. I don't know what to do. So let me show you how to do it. There's a couple of key stories I want to share with you today. I'm going to show you 3. I've got a bunch more that I work with my own clients in the Storytelling Mastery series. But the first one is something you're saying that nobody else is saying. And the second is a success story of a client who used this step or overcame an obstacle. So we'll go back a step. Something you're saying that nobody else is saying. You want to set yourself apart from your competitors. And you may be very, very similar to a lot of them. You're going to have a competitor who's doing the exact same thing as you, but you may have just one little subtle difference. Maybe it's something that you believe. Maybe it's something that you care about, something that you emphasize more, but you want to accent that in your stories, and you want to show that that is the most important thing. Next, the success story of a client who used this step or overcame an obstacle. Maybe your clients have something that they're like, well, this could never work for me because X. And you want to have a story of a client that you worked with that had that same idea and totally overcame it, knocked that obstacle out of the park. Finally, a quick win. This is something that you can teach us that gives us a result right away. It helps us build trust, not only in you, that you're an expert, that you can give us great information, but more importantly in ourselves. We know that we can get this result because we've already started to go down the path and experience some of this. So let's look at a couple of examples right here. Here's the first one. Many people I've worked with think you can only be successful in marketing if you have a big social media following. But I believe that you can have a successful marketing campaign without any social media. And then you start to teach what that looks like. So that's a key story right there. That was the one that sets you apart, something that you're saying that nobody else is saying. Here's another one. One of my clients, Phil, didn't believe he could ever give up caffeine and sugar in his life. But with a few small changes to his daily routine, he's off them both. And here's how. Powerful stuff, simple story of a successful client. Finally, Karen in one of my group coaching programs said, Kyle, I just can't get any sleep. So I told her to start wearing blue light blocking glasses, and here's what happened. And then you teach. So let's go back to this empowered brain process. I want to share a couple of key stories with you in this one. Let's look at number 1. The clarity, discover your clarity roadmap. So Ginny here is very good at using tests. She has people do blood tests that examines different aspects of their hormones and health, and lots of different subtle things going on that you probably don't notice, and your main primary care doctor wouldn't understand. But this is something that gives people a lot of clarity. And you don't want to say, hey, when you're going to take all these tests, somebody's going to stick a needle into you and suck your blood for a while, and then we'll get some insights. We want to say you're going to get clarity here. So Sarah discovered mold in her house. Sarah was one of her clients that was she kept feeling sick, and no matter what she did, she was eating really good, she was doing all these things right, still couldn't get better. And then Once through this clarity roadmap, she found that there was a presence of mold in her house. And through that, she made a change. Mold was probably there for years, and it was probably the source of a lot of other health problems she had. But once she had this clarity roadmap, she could finally start moving forward and healing. Now let's look at step 3, love your life. This is a big objection overcoming answer. Gwen, one of her clients, had no idea that she would enjoy making smoothies or juicing, or thought that she could ever give up pasta. But within a few months of working with Jenny, she lost weight, started enjoying cooking, and it totally changed her life. She never went back. And that's what loving your life is all about. It's loving the new, upgraded life. That's a big objection overcome there. Okay, so you might just be one key story away from more customers. So let's get into number 3, how to use this system to create or delegate the rest of your marketing. A great process, like I've been showing you, is the foundation for all of your messaging, not just speaking or presenting or your sales calls. Let me give you an example. Here is a familiar face. This is Dr. Grace Liu. She had always wanted to write a book, but like many of you, running a growing business, it can take most of her time. So she had to come up with a creative solution for getting her book written that would be valuable and easy for her. We put together a proprietary process called 7 Steps to Heal SIBO, and we had her start doing Facebook Live presentations on each one of the 7 steps. With that content, we were able to take those videos and turn them into book chapters, which not only became an Amazon best-selling book, but also helped people get aware of her $2,000 course that she had put together to help people with their gut health. And so the book was built around her process, and it was much easier to create once we had some clarity on the process. And now it is a consistent lead generation for her business. Very, very powerful. So it's the key points and stories for your presentation and speech. All of the clients that I work with and help them in their presentations personally, we start here with this proprietary process. Just like Jenny, just like Alyssa, who we were talking about earlier, this is how we get results for them. So it makes things so much faster and easier. Guess what? It's also your social media content, your digital marketing, your blogs, and your podcasting. This is Missy right here. She's been working with me for a couple of months. And once we had her process developed, she started practicing online, sharing some of her stories and some of her ideas. And she was doing Facebook Live videos that all of a sudden we're getting 3 to 4 times more engagement and comments and interest than she ever had before. And she started getting messages from people like this saying, hey, can you please tell me the pricing for your thyroid program? I need to get help. Telling us a little bit of details right here that I won't share with you guys because you're not health experts, but you can see it here. And if a health coach got a message like this, if you got a message like this from your client that was like, hey, I need your help so much. I have all of these problems. I need your help right now. You could close those clients. And that's from knowing your process and having good stories. So what would change in your business if your marketing became clear, simple, or maybe even fun? Could it be fun? It can be fun. I'm having fun right now, believe it or not. Weird stuff, I know. So anyway, I want to tell you a little bit about Selling with Story. This is my book, and this is what I'd like to invite you to go a little bit deeper if this storytelling is really interesting for you. It's got a lot of free templates involved with this to help you move faster. So like, for example, a proprietary process, there's a free template that you can download with that will help you get these results. It's got timeless storytelling techniques. Again, there's lots more of this good information where that came from. And it's got cutting edge digital marketing strategies. So it's going to combine that timeless storytelling and digital marketing into one really powerful thing. And finally, it is available on Amazon. It's available on Amazon all over the world in paperback and in Kindle. I do need to start working on the audiobook for it soon. But yeah, so why don't you picture a day when you can attract new clients and transform their health or their business without it draining all of your time or energy? I want you to picture a day when your partner that you're working with on your business, or not your business partner, but your romantic partner, says, wait, you made how much money last month? I guess you're taking us out to dinner tonight, all thanks to your storytelling. And I want you to picture a day when you can look back at the thousands of people you've helped restore their health, lives, and dreams, and know that you've made an impact. Big stuff. So I want to leave you guys with this. We'll close out right here. Since my own health transformation, I've been able to return to the mountains. And one of my favorite places to visit is Zion's National Park. I'm in Utah in the United States, somewhere in the middle. But if you've ever seen like cowboy movies, it probably is filmed in Utah. We've got the coolest desert and rocks and stuff. So one of my favorite places to visit is Zion's National Park, a gorgeous canyon filled with multicolored rocks, narrow canyons, and amazing panoramas. I took my bike down to get out of the common circuit of shuttle buses moving people up and down the park. You can only go on a shuttle bus in this park or ride your bike or walk. So as I'm riding my bike, I passed by deer and dipped my feet in the river. And I kept riding deeper and deeper until I found a small stairway far from any of the shuttle stops. The stairway led to this amazing waterfall nestled between two cliffs. It was an oasis of sparkling water, lush ferns, and green trees that shaded me from the hot desert sun. Now, of all of the parts of this gorgeous park that most people travel from all over the world to see, this little simple place was the most beautiful. And I see shuttles passing by, with people inside one by one, nobody aware that they're missing out on this hidden gem. Now, there are many of you that are also hidden gems. And you could help so many people if they knew you were out there. I help tell your story so they know you're out there. And it's time to let the world know that you're out there. So let's let the world know that you're out there. Thank you very much. I'll go back to this slide so you can see Selling with Story, available on Amazon. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening in. Spatsiba again. That's pretty much the only Russian word I know.